Hey guys, welcome back to Fayfire for another hot take on Hot D. Today's Hot D is going to blow your third eye right out of your pineal gland, and we are talking about Helaena Targaryen, who we should start calling Helaena the Dreamer. I figured out some pretty amazing things about this young lady, other than her very impressive collection of creepy crawlies. This lies more in her Targaryen gifts and with her dragon, Dreamfyre. So join me today to take a look at the newest Dragon Dreamer in the Red Keep. This video will contain book spoilers for the future of the show, so if you've not read Fire and Blood, you've been warned. We briefly meet Helaena in the scene with her mother and her pet millipede? Centipede? I didn't want to Google it. However, she drops some prophetic foresight and wisdom on her brother Aemond when he comes back slightly roasted from a venture into the dragon pit. Aemond has yet to claim a dragon, though not for lack of trying. Apparently he's made his way down there before, but with no luck. On this day, he made his way down, but the first dragon alcove he peeked into found an unhappy dragon who blasted a gout of flame his way. Though Aemond wasn't hurt, he went running back to his mom. Helaena knows exactly what he's been up to before he's even said so. She calls it, "Oh, he's done it again." And while Alicent busies herself checking him over, Helaena mumbles that he won't claim a dragon until he's closed an eye. For those of us who know the future of Aemond One Eye, we know he pays the blood price for his dragon bond. Helena's father is King Viserys, who also had a dream. He saw his son sitting upon the Iron Throne, though his daughter Rhaenyra is his heir. Helaena appears to have the same prophetic gift of foresight. She knows her brother Aemond will lose an eye. What else does she know? Helaena has a dragon named Dreamfyre. Dreamfyre is old and had a rider before. Rhaena Targaryen was the daughter of Aenys Targaryen, so she was granddaughter to Aegon the Conqueror. It is said that Aegon wept when he held baby Rhaena for the first time. Rhaena rode Dreamfyre from a very young age, and she married her brother Aegon, the real Aegon II, who rode the dragon Quicksilver. Interesting side note is that Helaena marries her own Aegon II, and his dragon is called Sunfyre, gold in contrast to silver. Rhaena and Aegon had two daughters, Araya and Rhaella. Now, Aegon was killed in battle by Maegor and Balerion the Black Dread, and later Maegor took Rhaena as one of his black brides. Rhaena was certainly the most defiant of his wives, and eventually she escaped with her daughter Araya, the sword Blackfyre, and her dragon Dreamfyre. Dreamfyre was not a warrior dragon, but she was definitely a mother dragon. She laid several clutches of eggs over the years, which were sought after by many lords of the Seven Kingdoms. Later, when Araya mysteriously flies away on Balerion, Rhaena searches all over Westeros on Dreamfyre for her lost daughter, before learning of her death from an insidious parasite. She takes Araya's cremated remains high into the sky on Dreamfyre and releases them where her daughter can fly. Balerion is claimed one last time by Viserys, and Dreamfyre is later claimed by his daughter, Helaena. So both Viserys and Helaena are dreamers, like Daenys the Dreamer and Aegon the Conqueror before them. I don't believe that Rhaena was a dreamer, but she and Dreamfyre had a motherly energy, and 3 of her eggs were stolen by a former friend of Rhaena's named Alyssa Farman. Alyssa took these 3 eggs, sailed across the sea to Braavos, and sold the eggs for an exorbitant price. These eggs make their way through many hands, but eventually find themselves belonging to Illyrio Mopatis, who gifts them to Daenerys Targaryen in A Game of Thrones. Alicent reaches out to touch her daughter while she tells her the story of how she believes her worm can see, though it is beyond our understanding. When her mother touches her, Helaena flinches. Could this be because she sees the future herself through her own dreams? Does she know of the future to come, and much of it due to Alicent's incessant meddling? I believe Helaena can see through the eyes of her pet worm, and not only that, but through the eyes of her dragon, Dreamfyre. Many people believe that the dragon Aemond encountered in the dragon pit was in fact Dreamfyre, and that Helaena is able to see through the eyes of her dragon. This is how Helaena knew what Aemond had been up to before he even said so when he came into the room. Now here is why I believe that yes, this is true, and how it will affect the entirety of A Song of Ice and Fire. Later into the story, Helaena has 3 children, and one of Helena's sons is brutally murdered by some truly evil men. After her son's death, she becomes depressed and driven mad with grief, and hides herself away, unable to ride Dreamfyre, who is kept locked up in the dragon pit. Once the storming of the dragon pit starts, Helaena loses her mind and throws herself from the window to her death. The moment that Helaena dies, Dreamfyre awakens in the dragon pit, shooting off giant gouts of flame, and is the only dragon to break free of her chains, while all around them, dragon slayers storm the pit and slaughter the chained dragons. Dreamfyre circles the pit and kills more men than any of the other dragons there. Many arrows are shot at her, and one takes her in the eye. Driven mad with pain, she crashes into the dome ceiling, which comes down and crushes the dragon slayers, the other dragons, and Dreamfyre herself. Could it be that Helaena, when she threw herself from the window, warged into the body of her dragon, like we've seen other character deaths in this story? Think about Arel and his eagle, or Varamir Sixskins, or Jon and Ghost, or even Bran and Hodor. Could Helaena have entered the body of her dragon for a short second life, in which she tried to save the last of her dragons and preserve their lineage? Or was it possible that it was a mercy to kill the other dragons and save them from their inevitable suffering at the hands of fanatics? It is very unlikely that Helaena had been told of Aegon's prophecy of the Song of Ice and Fire. However, she may well know of it because of her gift of foresight. She may know that this will be the death of the dragons, which is very dangerous for the long-term goals of the Targaryens and for mankind. Helaena flinches from her mother because it is Alicent's actions which ultimately cost her her life and the lives of her children, her brothers, and of all the dragons left in the world. Her final act in life was to act as a dragon and to do her own part to preserve the prophecy in her own way. However, she may also see the future, in which Daenerys Targaryen hatches dragons from a long sleep in order to fight ice with fire, as Aegon saw in his own dream long ago. He saw the future through his granddaughter Rhaena and her dragon Dreamfyre, and it brought him to tears. He saw the death of Dreamfyre and of all the dragons in a great genocide of their species, and he saw her last rider, who gave up her own life to protect their lineage. Aegon saw the eggs she laid and the long journey those eggs went through to get to Daenerys to fight the long night. Aegon saw Rhaena, he saw Daenerys, and he saw Helaena Targaryen, 3 heads of the dragon and the true mothers of dragons.
Found a dragon for me.
The last ring has no legs at all.
But it was a pig.
You will have a dragon one day.
He'll have to close an eye.
I know it.